Hello, let me check. Mic is working. Yep. This is day two of 100 days of CTFs. So we will start. Before we start, let's. I got a question that how do you got the root access and also let's get into it. This is actually root access. So let me log out for a second. When you get Kali for the first time, you usually get. I got this Kali from Kali website itself, the virtual machine. So I directly downloaded the virtual machine, and the default is Kali and Kali with the credentials. So let's log in. So once you log in, it will look something like this, and from here you can actually edit everything. So this I have edited as Torhead, and you can also do it as well. So for that you can actually go to cat/ht/host. So you need to add this line. So this is the local host, and you set the local host to Torhead, and this is the first step, and the second step is host name and Torhead. So once you do these two things, you'll be ready. But to make the changes, you need to re-log in again. So after you do these two things, so the host name is fixed, it is not going to change. So to get the root access, first you need to get into root in the Kali machine. So to get into root, you go to sudo su, and you got root. From here you change the root password. So by using this command you can change the root password, right? So once you set the root password, I have already set to something else, then you're good to go, right? And let's see, after you set the password, you can again go back, log out, and now you got this login screen again. Here you can set you can log in with the root, and you with the root password which you have given. And once you log in, it's not going to look like this. So I have customized everything, the wallpaper, the icons, the uh, whole thing I have customized. So this is not the normal terminal. So this is a terminator. You if you know what terminator is, I'll show you. So normal terminal is different. This is the normal terminal, and this is the terminator. So this is what I'm currently using, and I think you can download it using apt-get apt-install terminator. So once you do this, you will get the terminator, and if the icon is still here, and you can change the icon properties over here. So set this, edit this, let me see where edit is, and you can set the command as terminator here. So this is the command that this icon will be using. So in the similar way you can set all the other things as well, and here you can change the icon, here you can change the command, here you can change the name itself. So you can customize everything to your liking. So taking that out of the way, so now I am root at the rate torhat. So now I hope it is visible. Today we will start with before one more thing I need to mention. So in the video, I actually showed a different Kali machine, the customized Kali machine by Z Security. But Kali itself has a really good virtual machine. So you can directly download it using from this. 1 second, get Kali. So you can download. Let me see if I download. Where do I go? Right. Once you come to download this Kali, once you click on download, you will be shown all these types of downloads. So you can click on virtual machines here, and you can download 64-bit, either this one or this one. And as shown in that video where you customize your where you set up your own lab, you can actually use this Kali machine instead of that one, and you can customize everything to your liking. So that's it. Now we can actually start CTFs. So today we will start with absolute basic CTFs here. So this is the CTF which I chose to start with, and you can go to overthewire.org/wargames. Let me paste it in the terminal so that you can see. So this is the website that you need to go. So after this, or else you can even type over the wire, or you can even type let me Google it first. So if you type over the wire, you can actually get the website right away here. Right, once you got this website, you can click on bandit. So this is the first CTF that we have chosen, because see, as you can see here, this is aimed at absolute beginners, so it will teach the basics that you need to be able to play with other war games. So other war games, they meant to say CTFs. Okay, so if you notice something essential is missing, you have an idea. This is not related to us, so this is for some experts, so we are just beginners. So let's see. This is, they are just saying that if you cannot solve it, try it again and again till you get succeeded, something like that. So let's go to level 0. What do we have here? Right, we are at level 0. The goal of this CTF, the goal of this level is to log into the game using SSH. So the purpose of this CTF is to use SSH to connect to a server that runs SSH server. So the main goal is to learn SSH in this case. So we are not running any SSH, we are actually the client. Let me draw it so that you can understand better. Right. So the main thing you need to understand it, there is a client and there is a server. Okay, let me write it as S and this is C. So we are client, this is let me write Kali, and this is the bandit, let's say. So they are actually running a SSH server inside this. So we are not running anything, so we are directly trying to connect this. Okay, so this is how it is. If let us see, we don't need to start any kind of service. For example, we will just check the status. Okay, status. So it is loaded, but it is inactive. We are still inactive, but we are still able to connect it because we don't need it. Okay, let's see the service which we cannot I think we can even verify which is running Kali machine, which SSH is running. So let me before this I need to tell you how SSH works. Okay, so SSH, right? So basic structure of SSH is SSH user at the rate server or host. You can write host name. That's all. This is the basic structure of SSH. So additional to this, we even type the port number or a key, private key, something like that. But this is the most basic structure. So user, let's see here which one is the user. So the username is bandit 0 here, and this is the host that we need to connect. So what would be the structure? So SSH and bandit 0 at the rate over the wire, this something like this. So this is how it is. This ignore this part for now, this will come later. So this is the basic structure that is formed. So from here, what do we need to do? So here they are mentioning some port number which is 2220, but what this actually does is, this structure actually does is, it there is an SSH server that is running on the server, but it is running on port 22 by default. So that is what this means. If it is running on port 22 by default, you don't have to mention anything. So but this is not running on port 22, it is running on port 2220. So we need to mention something like this: SSH bandit -p stands for port number, and this is the port that we are mentioning, 2220. So before we start this, there is something I need to tell you. So if you type ls-a, there is a directory called .ssh. So why is this here? We never in the beginning you won't find this. If this is a new PC or new virtual machine, you will not find this. So this is found after your first connection. Let's see what is inside this. So there are two files here. Let me see what it is. I'm just catting out. There is something, we don't know what this is, but there is something like this. So what is this? Let me delete the contents. So there are a number of ways you can delete. So you can use nano host and then you can delete it, and you can save it like this. And now if you see cat non host, there is nothing, right? So initially this will be your case, you will have nothing. Even this you will not be having. Let me go back to the home directory, and let me try the same thing again. So this is what you will be having. So when the first time you're trying to connect to bandit, it will ask you to use a fingerprint. So we need to accept, and we need to create a fingerprint, and this key will be stored in known host file, which is in .ssh directory. So one second. So we need to accept it. Unless we accept it, this is not going to store in our PC. So we have to click on yes. Okay, once it is done, it is permanently added to this what do we say, permanently added this thing to our known host file. So this is what it is saying. So we can type the password or we can even cancel. Let's cancel it for now. And let's go back to the same thing, cd.ssh and cat known host file. So now we have an entry here, right? So this is the actual fingerprint that is made with what we have selected yes here. Okay, so unless this is formed, you will not be able to connect to the SSH. So let's do the same thing. So now once this is formed, it is not going to ask the second time. You see, it didn't ask for any fingerprint or anything like that. So now we will directly go to bandit 0. Did I mistype it? Yep. So the password they have given is this one, bandit 0. So username is this, host is this, and password is this. So we need these three things, and this is an optional one. We also need it if it is not port 22. We need this one. So these are the 4 parameters that we need to connect to this server. So I hope you learned SSH. This is the basic structure. After that you will have some key which you will use to directly connect to the server. That will come later. So for now, this is what you need to know. So if you want a new system, just go and delete the known host file, and then you will it will be cleared from your PC. So after this bandit level 0 is finished. So from level 0 to get to level 1, we need to do something. So that is what they are saying here. Let me see if I have done it. Okay. All right. Let me clear that one. Go back to this. So once we are here, we need to see what is inside this. To see a list of files, we need to type ls. So this is the basic ls command which lists the files here, and we have a readme file here. So in Linux, there are no file extensions that are specific to one file. You can put any file extension, something like .txt or .png or something like that, but it doesn't matter in Linux. You can type any file extension, but here we don't have any file extensions here. So what do we do here? So we need to go and check what kind of file this is. So for that we need to use the file command. So file and readme will give you what type of file this is. As you can see, it is ASCII text. Okay, so this will come in handy later, so it's better to know early. And since it is ASCII text file, so which means its extension is similar to .txt, so you can print the file, print the contents of the file on the terminal like this. So since it is text file, you can also open the text file using nano, and you can still find the same thing. You can copy and you can exit, and here you can also use the concatenation command. And all right, now we got the first flag. This is the first flag that they want us to find. So this will be the password to the next level. So that's what they have done. Whenever you find a password for a level, use SSH to connect to the next level. Okay, so let us store this somewhere. I usually use cherry tree. So this will be really good. Let me type bandit, and let me create a sub node here, something like this, and let me type level 1, or even just 1 should be enough, right? There is one more that we actually forgot. Let me type here, add subnode 0. So there is 0 first and then 1. Okay, so let me delete this 1. Okay, there is something different here. Let me get another cherry tree, or even I can edit file preferences. Fonts, monospace, toolbar. All right. So the 0. What were we doing? Okay. So the user is bandit 0, and password is also bandit 0. And what is the command that we used? It's better to document as we go. Let me store this thing. If you feel this is too basic, you can actually skip it, because I am telling everything in detail so that any beginner can understand it. And what's the next one? Once it is done, we will have some flag. So let's store the flag, paste it here. So once this is done, let me go to user 1. So for user 1, let's go to here. So password for the next file is stored in something called this. Okay, located in the home directory. Let me go here. Let me exit out of here. So password is this one. Paste it here. Now the next one will be not bandit 0. So the next username is bandit 1. So the username is this. The host name doesn't change. It's the same thing. The port number also doesn't change. Okay. So now we use this command to log in, and we use this password to log in. So now we are bandit 1, right? Now I hope you understood how SSH works. Let's see what we have here. Password of the file next level is stored in this file. So what do they mean by dash? Let me type ls, and I can see a dash here, right? A hyphen kind of thing. So usually it is a normal file. If you see ls hyphen l, which is a long listing of all the files, here you see nothing here, right? And here there is something. So we will discuss this later. So the first thing you need to understand is, when you have a dash in the first one, it means a normal file. When you have a D here, it means it's a directory. So to show that, let me create one more here, and let me type ls-l. Here you see D, right? This is a directory here, and here this is a normal file, right? It's the same way. This dash, which is a name of the file, is a normal file. So that's what they they mean. And let's go back here. So the purpose of CTF is to understand between relative paths and absolute paths. So if you try to cat this, it's not going to work, right? It's not going to work. And if even if you type nano something like this may not work. See, it is showing it's not writable or something like that. So it's not there. So there's something wrong with this kind of file, right? So it's nothing wrong. It's the file name is this. When you have a dash kind of a file name, so it should not be executed in a normal way. What the dash that cat assumes is this cat command assumes is it is waiting for an option to be told. For example, let's say cat hyphen h, which means help. Okay, cat hyphen help. So for a normal command to execute, there is a dash a or dash b or something like that. These are called options of a command. Okay, so basic structure of a command is the command name itself, and then some options, some optional options. Actually, you may or may not use the options. For example, I used ls-l for the long listing thing here. This is an option. This is also optional. You don't have to type it every time. Okay, and let me see. All right, so this is an option. So what the cat command is assuming is this dash itself is some option, so we cannot use it. So what do we do here? We can solve this in different ways. For example, uh, for this we need to use the full path length of the file. For example, what is this current path length? This this is a path, this is a full path of the directory which we are here, which we are using right now. So let's copy this, and let's use the same cat command, and we are saying that in this directory there is a file called dash. So that's what we are trying to say to this cat command, and when we execute this one, it is going to work. We have some string here, right? So let's copy this, and let's save it as something like this. So we use this command, which we want to say that this is a absolute path. So this is absolute path, and there is something else we can do here. So this is absolute path. We can also do something like this. There is some tilde symbol here, right? So the tilde symbol actually represent the home directory, which is this one, the home directory of bandit 1. So we can also use, instead of the whole thing, instead of this whole thing, we can also use tilde symbol and forward slash and dash. This is also going to work the same way, and we can also do in a different way. Since we are already in the directory of the file, so we will say that cat the dot actually represent the current directory. Okay, and then forward slash in this current directory we are saying there is a file called dash. So we are representing in three ways: the full path length, and the home directory. From the home directory, this is the path that is there, and from the current directory, this is where it is. This is also going to work. Okay, so now you have understood three ways of solving this, and let me type flag this. Okay, let me save it somewhere. it's better we save it. Desktop, let me let me create a new folder, bandit, and inside this bandit actually you can find it here. Say, let me write it as notes. All right, now we have saved this, and let me go back to this. Since this is a normal file, and it is also, let me type the file of this. It is also ASCII text. It is just a normal text file. Okay, since this is a normal text file, we can also open it using any text editor such as Nano or VI or something, even the GUI or something like that. So let me try that as well. See, it is still there. So there is, you can print it out, you can open it in a text editor, or you can just check the file name, or you can use relative paths or absolute paths, something like that. Okay, there is not a single way you can do this, there are multiple ways. So now you got the flag, let's exit out. Yeah, this is bandit one. Let me show you something that I wanted to show you when I'm using SSH. So let's go back to SSH. Let's go back to 0. Oh, sorry. So the password is simple, bandit 0. What? Right. So we have a file here, right? So for example, I like this CTF, so I like this file, so I want to download it from the server. So since the server is actually running, you can actually download this file, and you know all the things that you want to know here, right? Bandit password, you know, and port number, so you have the host name, you have everything. So you want to download this stuff, right? So let me open a new terminal. So in this terminal, I will be downloading this file. So how do I do that? So there is an tool called string copy, no, secure copy. So this is actually a file, this is the name. Okay, so the shortcut of this name is SCP. Okay, this is secure copy. It, on the background, it uses SSH. So whatever the SSH needs, this command will also be needing the same thing. So this command actually needs the port number, the name of the username, it also needs username, it also needs host name, it also needs password. Okay, but the only difference is this command is going to use capital P instead of small p. So that's the only difference, everything else is same. And let me show you how this command works. So till here everything is same, right? So the password I'll have to tell later. One second, let me save this file in this particular directory. Okay, in this bandit directory. Let me, so for that, what do I need to do? I'm currently here. I need to go to desktop from there, and then bandit, right? Here, bandit. Let me, so this is the directory that I want to save. Okay, so this can also be you done using home symbol. I'll tell you that later. So for this is the first thing. So from here you will say that this is the place this is the username, this is the server, and from in this server you have to use this colon symbol which is there in the which represent that in this file where the location, we are actually mentioning the location right now. So to mention the location, you need to mention, you need to keep this uh, double quotes or whatever this is. I think this is called colon. Oh yeah, this is colon. And using this colon, you are saying that in this home directory there is a readme file which I want to download. And where am I actually downloading? I'll copy this. In my PC, this is the place which I want to download it to. So here we're actually mentioning the source. This is the source and this is the destination, right? From source the destination. This is the basic structure of the command. So I'll just write it here in bandit 0 itself to download CTF. So what do you need to do? You need to type SCP -P port number and then source and then destination. So this is the basic structure of the command. Okay, we are using the same here. This is the SCP port number and then source and destination. If you hit enter, it is going to ask for a password. So we already know the password, which is bandit 0. It is going to download it. So if we open this bandit the directory, it's going to be there, right? We can open this with anything. Let's say I'm opening this with a text editor called Pluma. So we can still have the file saved here. All the contents are there. So this is how you actually download. So now let's get back to bandit 2 SSH bandit 2. So this is the flag we got. So we'll use this. Paste it here, enter. Now we are in bandit 2, right? So let's create another node file which says 2 and let me copy this, paste it here. The password is this one. Now this is the structure of the command, but all we need to do is change from 1 to 2, right? So what do we need to do here? We need to go back to this from level 2 to 3. So it is saying the password of the next level is stored in a file called spaces in this file name located in the home directory. So there are spaces in some file. So if you see, at the first glance it seems like there are 4 different files, right? But if you do a long listing thing, you can see that the whole thing is a single file. Spaces in this file name is a single file. It just has some spaces inside this, that's all. So how do we handle this kind of thing? But if you try to copy and paste it, it's not going to work. It's going to throw some errors. So it is taking it into 4 different kinds of files here. So there is no such file or directory. So what do we do in here? So in this case, one second, there are 3 ways to do this. first of all, cat spaces, and after the spaces we can use a backslash character, which also represent an as an escape character. So what is it going to escape? So it's going to tell the command that this is not not a different file, or this is not the end of the file name. So it is going to tell that there is something extra here. So we need to do this for the 4 of this file name, right? So this is called an escape character here, right? So it's going to tell the command that this is not a end of the file name, so there is still a file name. So it is going to consider these 3 characters next, and then it is going to tell it again. It's going to continue the same way here, and then also same way here. Let me try to hit enter. I got the flag right here. So there are few other ways. Let me store this first. Flag, right? So first thing is using of a black escape character, right? So first use of escape character, which is backslash. So what is the second one? You can also use tab. So cat s, and if you type the tab button, which is above caps lock button, so it's going to fill the same thing, right? It's the same way. So it's going to fill the rest of the command, the rest of the file name actually. So once this is done, you can hit enter and you'll get the same thing. And there are 2 more ways to solve this. So using single quotes or double quotes. So this is one way, and this is another way. So this single quotes and double quotes will treat the whole file name as a single file, and it is going to send it to the command cat. Okay, and you can use it with other text editors as well. All these 4 ways will work. Use of escape character, use of tab, and use single or double quotes, right? All right, next add something. Let's go to the next one. All right, what do we have here? Bandit 3. Let's speed things up. Actually, this is Bandit 2. And this is 3, and password is same as this, right? Next, the command which we need to use to connect. So let's type this and use this password. Enter. Now we are in Bandit 3. Let's go to 3. All right. So password of the next file is stored in a hidden file in here directory. Okay. So let's go and do the same thing. So now it has something here which doesn't seems to be like a file. Okay, let's do the same thing here as a long listed. So here we see it as a directory. So the color change itself can tell you which is which, like either it is a directory or a file. So let's go and cd cd is change directory, so it will change the current directory, which is a home directory, into this directory, right? So if you do ls, you'll find nothing here. So now the purpose of this ctf is to know the structure of a hidden file, how it is stored, and how to find it and how to execute it. Okay, so now ls-a will show you all the files including the hidden files. See, now we have three things here, and these two things are in blue and this one is in green. So this green, we obviously know that this is a file. So this blue, here we see the same color, which represents a directory, and there are two dots and one dot. So what do these mean? So a single dot represents a current directory and a double dot represents a previous directory. So each directory will have two connections, so one to itself and one to previous one, which is also called a parent directory. So if you also see it in a long listed form, so for that you need L and also A to list everything. So here you see a directory, here it is a directory, and it is also a directory which is a parent directory, and this is a hidden file. And if you do cd to the same dot, you will not go anywhere, you will come to the same thing again. But if you do cd double dot, you will go to previous directory, right? Okay, so that's out of the way. Now how to use this hidden file? Let me copy this and let me do the same thing to know what kind of file this is. So it is saying this is an ASCII text file, so let's go and print it out, cat, and do the same thing again. Yep, since this is a text file, you can also do nano into it, and you can also open it with any other text editor. I'm not going to do that. So now we got the flag, let's move to other one. So main thing to know here is ls-a will show everything, right? Next, go to the next one, which is 4, paste it. Oh my god, 4 password, same thing, paste it, ssh command. So here instead of 3 we keep 4, and exit out of this, typing much, right? So the password is this, copy paste, done. So let's clear this out. So let's go to the next one, which is 4 to 5, right? The password of the next level is stored in a only human readable file. That is also is in here directory. So it is saying there is a file, it is in here directory, it is only human readable. All right, so ls, there is an in here directory, so cd in here, so we are here, so there are a bunch of files here, right? So what do we do? So in this case, so the purpose of this CTF is to understand something called a wildcard. So a wildcard will represent a group of files or directories uh, which are similar to the pattern that we mentioned. So here let's say the pattern is this, right? So dash file 0 and 0 1 2 3 something like that. So here instead of this 0, the last character, we can use something called a wild character. Okay, so wild characters come in bunch of ways. One is question mark, one is uh, asterisk, something like that. We can use multiple wild cards. So in this bandit 4 we are going to use something called asterisk. Asterisk will represent one or more characters. Okay, so how to use that? So first of all, there is a file which is only human readable. So previously we were checking what kind of file this something like this is. So if you type this, it is not going to display sorry, it's not going to run as we expected, because this is a hyphenated file. Okay, if you try to run this, okay, it has taken this as an option. As we discussed previously, options come in bunch of ways. So hyphen f it is treating as a option, and the rest of the file name it is treating as a file name. So it is saying there is no file or directory. So what do? We do the same thing that we did before. We use relative or absolute file path. So here it is showing data. It is not an ASCII text. We cannot um, read this kind of thing. So it is just some binary data. So what do? Mm, right. Let me do the same thing, but this time let's use cat command. Let's try to print out everything that we can. Here this seems to be data, right? There is some data here, there is some data here. So but here there is something, only text is there. So one of the files printed this thing, so we need to find which file actually did it. So for that, what this has done is, this is telling there is some file which has file name something. So it doesn't matter how many characters it has, so it will consider this asterisk and replace it with whatever file name it got. So initially this asterisk replaced it with this file name, and then this, and then this. So it printed everything. So all these files it has printed. So we don't want that. So what do we want? We want only one of the files to show. So we use the same command with file. So if we use this, it is going to take initially the first file, and it is going to print something like this, and it is going to say take the second file, and it is going to print what its output. So what kind of file this is? So let's hit on enter and see what happens. Here it is showing all these are data. So these are unreadable text. All this text that we are seeing which is unreadable, that is the data which is there. So here on the file 7 it is showing it is an ASCII text. So let's try to print only that one. Okay, so if we print this, it's going to print out the output something like this. So this will be the flag for the next one, flag of current one, and also password of number 5. All right, Mhm. Copy, paste, 5. Oh, sorry, this one. Right, what do we do? Let me see if I get any responses. File 8, I guess. Can you check? Oh, it is not file 8, it is file 07. Thanks for your chat, by the way. All right. Do I get any chat from here? Nothing. All right, let's move on to the next one. Thanks, Harshil. Thanks for your feedback or your guess. Good guess, by the way, but we need to go like this. So let's move on to the next one. Bandit 5. So once we can exit from any place. Right. So this is the password. Now we are in Bandit 5. Let's go back here. So the password of the next level is stored in a file somewhere under the in here directory and has these properties. Okay. So previously we read only the human readable files. So now we have something different as well. We have something additional data here. So 1033 bytes and not executable. So here we cannot use a single file command for this. So most of the stuff will be human readable and some will be 1033 bytes and some will be not executable. So they will have some mix of all these things, but only one of the files contains all these three things. So let's see what it is. ls hyphen sorry cd in here and ls. There are so many things we cannot go in a traditional way, so we need to find something for this. So what do we have? So the purpose of this CTF is to know the filters used to find a specific file when you already know the directory. Harshil just asked me a question. Are you preparing for OSCP? I haven't seen your first video. Okay, you can watch it later. So I think you haven't watched my previous streams or you haven't checked my previous post. It is fine. I'll just give an overview right now. So what my plan for this is, I'm going to do 100 days of CTFs and to show every to check if only free stuff can get you OSCP, because the main question I got is here. Let me show you why. If I hit the start button, here you can see, one second, let me tag this again. Just this is the default, right? I haven't changed anything here, but here if you see there is a vuln hub here, right? So Kali is telling the OSCP guys, they are telling that this is a really good source for pen testing, and these are other things as well. Kali docs, all these are also there, but this is a free source. So they are saying if you practice this, you can have OSCP and you can become a really good pen tester, right? So that's the first thing you need to notice. Yeah, you're saying true. So this is all free stuff, right? So this is a little bit complicated when compared to the beginner, like absolute beginner, whoever wants to start the hacking or pen testing or whichever you want to call it. So CTFs is a really good place to start, because they people have some kind of misconceptions that CTFs are a big thing, we cannot start. But here, as you can see, you can easily understand each and everything, right? So this is not that tough. You can use this stuff to learn and also progress your pen testing capabilities and security concepts as well. And this particular bandit is really focused only on Linux basics, absolute basics. As you can see, I'm typing only basic commands, right? ls cd and file or something like that. This is very basic. As we go through this, you'll get to know that uh, things will get complicated, and you will know what to do, and you will use the knowledge that you gained in the previous levels to use it on the next levels. So whenever you get stuck, you can just Google stuff, right? There are a lot of things available in Google. There are a lot of write-ups also available for this. So my main purpose is to start from very basics and to the basic CTFs, and also some web pen testing, and also the Vulnerhub. If I show my Discord channel, which I have here right now, so this is the session planning. So this is what I'll be doing for first 25 days, and then this is for the next 30 days, and then last 45 days. So this is a file that I have posted in the Discord channel, and let me show that file as well. So this is that file. You can actually download it here in my Discord channel, and all these are Vulnerhub VM list. Okay, there is nothing more to see this. Everything is Vulnerhub stuff. So they have filtered out some really good virtual machines for us to work on this. So this is, as you can see, this is OSCP course itself. Okay, so list of OSCP boxes from previous versions of the course, and this is the current version. Okay, so this is starts from very basics. So this is last 45 days challenge that we'll be doing, and this is going to be fun. This is the first step that we are taking, the bandit, and once we complete this, we will try to conduct a competition, like how fast we can do this. And we will also have some streaming, and we will have this voice chats. We can actually communicate with each other, and something like that we will conduct, and we'll conduct the same thing with others as well. We'll try, because CTFs is not that easy. um, People think because CTFs is easy, but it is not so. We will see why later. And Natus is completely web pen testing. I can show you Natus. Duplicate. This is completely server side web pen testing, web security stuff. Okay, we will come to that. I have separated this from the normal basic CTFs. Okay, so that will be the next one, and Leviathan, Krypton, and web pen testing here, and Portswigger Labs. This is going to be tough. One of my friend actually started this, and he has already completed SQL Labs. I can show him as well. Let me see. Hmm. 1 second. found him. So he has already done all the SQL labs. You can go through this. Anyway, we'll be doing all that again later. SQL and so many other things will be coming later. So you can actually follow him, and you can, if you want to start web pen testing right away, you can go. But I will take some time. I will take 25 more days before I come to that part. So that's the overview. So now you got some idea, right? Harshil, is it right? These are basics that everyone need to start and remember lifelong. Thanks, unknown buddy. Yeah, I truly believe that this is the basics that everyone needs to practice once in a while. So I hope Harshil got some idea of what we will be doing for the next 100 days. Yeah. Thanks, Harshil. Okay, we can move on. So here something happened. I cannot type anything. So why is that? Why is that? Can anyone answer? Yeah, it actually showed the thing. It is a broken pipe. So the SSH connection, the ideal SSH connection, they are actually disconnecting it. If some SSH connection is ideal for at least 5 minutes, I guess, they are actually disconnecting it with some script. Okay, so we don't need this tab. Let's clear this. And thanks for Harshil. We also had to notice why we need to stay connected and keep on typing commands, because if we stay idle, it's going to disconnect. Yeah. Okay, let's go back. Okay, timeout. Okay. Let's finish off with this fifth level, and then we'll wind up. Let's see, in here, CD in here, and then something here. So what do we do? As I said before, the purpose of this CTF is to know the filters for a specific file that you already know that these are the features of that file. Okay, so how do we use it? There is a command called find. You can actually go and see what it is with the help command. So it has so many options, but we need only few things. So find, so initially I'll just tell you the basic structure, and then we will move forward. This is the find command, and it will ask where we need to find. So we will give the directory. So let's say directory, and then what are the options or features. Let's say features, that's all. So if we give this, we will be able to find our exact file. So let's do the same thing, find. So you can actually keep this as the directory. Oh, sorry. Find this, you can actually keep this, or you can actually keep dot, which also means the current directory. Okay, so what are the features? Not executable, right? So not so there is something here called executable. See, you can see here, right? Executable. This is the help command we used before. So we want something that is not executable. So in programming languages, we say apostrophe, this is apostrophe, right? So exclamation mark. Yeah, so exclamation mark as a not, uh, as not to whatever we are typing. So we were typing executable, which is not, which they have mentioned as not executable double. And what are the other things we need to mention? So 1333 bytes, right? So hyphen size, we need to mention the 1033. And after 1033, it is showing as a human readable, right? So there is some trick to this part. So if you type C, if you type this C here at the end, it also mentions that we want something that is a human readable character. Okay, this C itself represents that. And this C also represents that each character is a byte, right? Each character is a byte. So this C itself can represent as a byte. So what we are seeing is 1033 bytes, which is also human readable character. So if you type this, we will get the answer. So this file, let me show you some, if I can find. Okay, it's above this part, so let's uh, go from here. Actually, you can find this C as well on the above. Let's try to cat this. So there is extra bytes here, we don't want this, right? Including this text, this whole thing will be containing 1033 bytes. Okay, that's what they're saying, and we only want this part. So let's save this, and let's stop it after this. So I'll be sharing these notes with you guys in my Discord channel. I don't know if I can post it in other social medias as well. Yeah, we will wind up here, and thanks for joining, and uh, we'll meet again in the next stream, possibly on Friday, or we can even have this as a tutorials, as a individual videos that I can post in my YouTube channel. So which one do you prefer? I mean, I need some feedback. Should I stream, or should I post individual videos? Okay. All right. Okay, we will wind up here. Let's meet another time. Okay, thanks, unknown buddy. uh See, for me, if I have to stream, I have to stream, and I also have to post it, so that will be double work for me. So let's continue this format. Like, I don't know if you guys are available on weekdays, but I'm not that much available on weekdays. That's why I'm trying to fix it to Fridays and Sundays. But if we do only that much, we won't be able to complete everything. So what do we do? So I'm thinking we can, if possible, I'll try to stream on weekdays as well, so that we can complete this. And each individual video I will post it like every 6 hours or 4 hours, something like that. I will post it in YouTube, so that you can also work on this. So now that you understood this part, we will wind up till fifth part, right? So bandit file. Okay, we'll meet again on the next stream. Thanks for joining. I hope you like this wallpaper. uh, Thanks guys. Let me go back.